come undone. Okay. All right. Technology, love it, hate it. Oh my gosh, I need to breathe. So beginning in constructive rest, let's take the first 2 breaths and feel the breath expand towards your back and towards the ceiling. Notice the breath expanding towards the sky and towards the ground. Just feel. Now feel the breath in your side ribs. You're welcome to place your hands on the side ribs. Inhale. Feel that widening. Exhale, feel the softening. Nice and slow. Inhale into your side ribs. Slowly exhale, feel the softening. Now place one hand by your collarbone and one hand down by your pubic bone. Send the breath into your hands, feeling the top and the bottom. I love this feeling of length. And then the last 2 breaths, we're going to breathe in all directions. Placing your hands wherever you like and just feeling the breath, front, back, side to side, top and bottom for 2 breaths. And then letting the breath return to its natural rhythm. With the knees apart, inhale, and as you exhale, now draw your belly button down towards your spine. Feel the back flatten towards the floor. It may or may not touch the floor all the way. Inhale, let the lower back lift away from the floor. Allow that movement to begin down in your belly. It's because your belly draws in that the back flattens and the pelvis moves, not because you are pushing your feet into the floor and clenching your butt. So that exhale, the belly comes in, the back flattens. The inhale, the back pops up off the floor, and start to move the pubic bone down towards your feet so the arch, the untuck gets a little bigger. Stay light on your feet and don't clench your butt. Couple more. Starting to notice if the movement is becoming bigger, how you're getting this motion up into your neck and head. Light on the feet, don't clench your butt. Creating the movement by engaging and releasing the abdominal muscles. And then just pause in a neutral position. Use your arms against the floor. Wiggle those back shoulders away from your butt so you feel like you just grew an inch. And let's slide the legs out straight, one then the other. Separate your legs. We're going to create the letter X. If your shoulders are working today, take your arms out to the sides. Take them up high as is comfortable for you. So if you've bumped into some resistance and pain, lower back down. And then we're going to stretch. Arching the back off the ground. Press through your heels. Reach through your arms. Spread the fingers wide. Take a breath. And then soften, relax. And do that again. Press through the heels. We're making the letter X. Reach through the fingers. Arch the back. Untuck the pelvis. Take a big breath. Like a big yawn in the morning. And soften out of that. Let everything soften. And then bring your arms back down by your sides. Let's pause here for a moment with the legs straight. Bring your shoulders to the palms up to the ceiling. And just close your eyes, feel the backs of your shoulders resting on the ground. Just kind of notice what it feels like, if the right feels different than the left. And then I'm going to ask you to take your right hand up towards the sky. And we're just going to reach up to the sky. Now, if you need to bend one knee or both knees, you may. If you're going to bend one knee, bend your right. If you're going to bend them both, that's fine. Now, I just want you to reach up to the sky like you want to touch the ceiling. And then feel the shoulder settle back to the ground. Reaching up to the ceiling. Let the other arm be relaxed. And feel the shoulder come back down and touch the ground. Now angle the arm down a little bit. Notice how my arm is in the same line as my thigh. And now reach. So I'm reaching up, but I'm reaching out a little bit. And relax. Let's do that a couple more times. Let your head go. So as I reach up, my head actually wants to, my chin lifts up a little bit. Let that happen. And release. And then one more time, hold it up there. Turn the hand a little bit. I don't mind which direction. Give it a little rotation. Rotating your hand as you're reaching up. And then nice and slow, we're going to retract that shoulder back down to the ground. Lower both arms down to the ground, palms up. And see if that right shoulder lays on the ground a little differently than the left. Mine does. So we're going to add the other arm. My right arm is relaxed. My left arm is reaching up. I'm going to reach straight up to the sky. Just notice what that feels like. Feel the shoulders settle back and touch the ground. As I reach to the sky, feel the shoulder blade lifting away from the floor and lower down. Angle the arm down a little bit. You'll get a little bit more movement here. As I reach out, the shoulder blade lifts up. Let it settle down. Let's do two more. Let your head go. Let your head be free. What's it want to do? Does it want to turn to the right as you reach to the left? Let the head turn. This time as I reach out, I'm going to turn my hand around a little bit. Just going to give that arm some rotation. Move that fascia a little bit. Relax the other arm. My other arm is tensing up. And then nice and slow, bring that shoulder back down, rest the arm on the floor. See if we've evened ourselves up a little bit. Take a breath. I'm going to slide my left leg straight and bend the right knee. And we're going to work down in the hip and the butt. So as I press my right foot down, my right knee goes forward and my right butt cheek lifts a little off the ground. And then let it go down. That same pace that we were doing the arm. Press into the foot, send the knee forward. Feel the butt lift a little off the ground. And release. Press the foot, send the knee. I want you to feel how the right hip is now up in the air. Your left butt is on the ground and you're kind of rolling towards that straight left leg. And release down. So a few more. Notice how you're rolling. If you placed your hands on your hips, you'd feel right hip goes up, left hip goes down, like a little seesaw. And for the last couple, I'm going to change it up a little bit and just move my foot to a new spot. Maybe move it out a little further towards the other foot. See what that feels like. I feel stretchy on my straight leg in the front of my hip. I'm going to move my right foot to the right a little bit. And the knee, I want the knee to go forward. Sometimes it likes to go over towards the straight leg. And let's just do two more. Put your foot wherever you like. Feel how the right butt cheek is engaging, it's contracting. And then when you lower down, it gets to relax. Last one. This gets the piriformis warmed up for what we're going to do and release. It creates a release in the tension. It takes the tension you usually have and releases it. Close your eyes, slide your leg out straight. Feel the difference between the two sides. So I was doing my right leg and that right butt cheek just feels, it actually feels bigger. My left side feels like little and compressed. Don't be afraid to enjoy the fact that it feels big and fluffy. I know, well, fluffy cheeks are in these days, ladies, so, and gentlemen, if you're out there, bend your left knee. And we're going to do the left butt. So I'm going to just start off really tiny, pressing my left foot down into the floor and release. As I press the left foot down, the knee goes forward. The butt lifts a little bit off the ground. The release is the important part. So when your butt touches the ground, really feel it relax. And now you know what you're doing. You don't have to watch. Close your eyes. Press the foot, send the knee forward. Feel that left glute engage. Feel how you've tipped to the right and release. Notice the tipping action. It's kind of like a rolling. And when you come down, really feel the relaxation throughout the body. Try moving the foot a little bit to a different place, just a little bit. Move it to a different spot. Just think of yourself as one big muscle or one big tissue, and we're just trying to keep the whole thing moving, gliding, sliding, hydrated, supple. All right, I'm going to do two more. Really notice how that straight leg is relaxed and you're rolling over towards it. And then relax. Let's slide both legs out for a moment. You can windshield wiper the feet a little and see. Now, are the two cheeks equally fluffy? And then we can put that together. So I'm going to bend my knees. As you bend your knee, let your knee go out to the side and bring the knee up. Let the knee go out to the side. So I have both knees bent, both arms up. Turn your ears on. I'm going to reach up with my right hand, press into my right foot, and retract back down. Press into the left foot, reach up through the left hand, and down. Now the right. As I press into the right, the right butt lifts up, the right shoulder lifts up, my head drops back, and release. Press the foot, send the knee, reach the hand, feel the shoulder, drop the head. Let's do a couple more nice and slow. As I press into the foot and I reach up to the arm, my other shoulder feels like it's pressing into the ground a little bit. Let the head tip back. We're going to work on that when we sit up. One more, two more if you like. And then resting down. Feel how flat those shoulder blades land on the ground. And if you slide your legs out, you can feel your cheeks are getting fluffier and fluffier. And then let's roll to the side. Roll to your side. So fluffy cheeks are in style. Got to stay in fashion. We used to think that we wanted these rock hard buns of steel. Remember that video? We're going to lay on the side. You're going to need something under your head whenever you lay on your side. Supporting the head high enough, but not too high. My legs are straight. We're going to practice releasing the psoas. So the surface that you're working on, can be cumbersome. I have on my socks and I'm on a blanket. Oh yeah, that's going to work well. We're going to do this one. Okay, ready? Get that bottom shoulder out from under you. That should be a little easier now after what we just did. Take your top hand to the floor. I'm going to lean a little forward and take your top leg and drop it forward. And I'm going to bring my knee up as high as I can. When I get up as high as I can, that psoas is contracting. Now I'm going to take my knee to the sky, bring the bottom of the foot to the floor. The first one's the hard one. Lower the knee down slowly and relax the leg completely. Relax everything. That relaxation is important. Let's do it again, because that's where we're resetting the brain. The brain's like, oh, I don't have to hold all that tension. Release it down. Slide it out. Let it relax. I like to do this one at least 4 times. You could do more. Usually only takes about 3 to get some nice change. Lower down. I always think the first one didn't count because it feels so yucky. Last one, we're going to draw it up. Bring the foot to the floor, take the knee to the sky. We're holding that contraction for a moment. And then we're going to lower down the knee and slide that leg out straight. And just pause for a moment. Feel the whole body relax. Now bring your knees up to a 90-degree angle. We'll stay on this side for a moment. Let's internally and externally rotate. So important for the hip to be able to do both. So I'm going to keep my knees together. I'm going to lift my foot. I'm going to hold it there and lower down. Now I got to keep my feet together, my heels together, my feet together, and lift my knee. This is an external rotation. We're holding it at the top. We're making the muscles work back in the butt so we can slowly lower down and relax. Knees together, foot up. Release it down. Feet together, knee up. And release it down. Let's do one more. Hold it for a moment. Feel those muscles. Maybe close your eyes. And release. Last one. Up. And down. Scooch this arm. We're going to take our top hand and we're bringing it on top of the bottom hand. And I'm going to reach my top fingers way out. And then I'm going to bring my hand back. I'm going to slide my hand back towards my elbow and pause. Let your chest rotate towards the ceiling. And then do that again. I'm going to rotate towards, reach my fingers out. And then as I open my hand back, my hand can come to the underarm or my ribs. As I come forward and reach my fingers out, let your top knee slide forward, let your hip slide forward. And as my hand slides back, let your knee slide back. Let's do 2 more of those. Just nice and easy. Each time I come back, I'm able to go back a little further with a little less resistance. And then this last time, we're just going to stay here. Let the knees slide back. Let the hand come to the ribs. Maybe your elbow lands on the floor. Take a full breath. And if you have your hand on your ribs, just pause for a moment, close your eyes. Feel the breath in your rib cage. And take another long, easy breath and really enjoy that exhalation. How deeply can you let go? And then we're going to slowly roll towards the legs. And we're going to come up and do the other side. So I'm going to roll towards my legs, pull the belly in, help myself up. And we're going to go to the other side. Look. All right, we're starting with our psoas release. So we're going to release the psoas, connects your inner thigh to your spine. Gets tight when you worry, short when you sit. And then we're going to internal and external rotate. Let's begin legs straight. Bring your top leg down to the floor. We're going to draw the knee up. Bring the bottom of the foot to the floor. Take the knee to the sky. Hold it there. I know that first one can be kind of yucky. Lower it down slow. And then really relax at the end. Again, up. That psoas is working, 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 working. That's its job. It's doing its job. Put the bottom of the foot on the floor, knee to the sky. Lean forward, don't lean back. Lower the knee. Slide the leg out. Let it relax. Again, knee up. Bottom of the foot to the floor. Get that pinky toe on the floor. Knee to the sky. Lower it down. Slide it out. Close your eyes for this last one. Just feel all the way up. Is it coming up a little higher? Bottom of the foot to the floor a little easier. That makes the piriformis work too. We slow her down and relax. Bring the knees up to a 90-degree angle. I'm going to lift just my foot. Bring the foot down and lift your knee. Close your eyes. You know what you're doing and feel. Is it harder to lift your foot? Or is it harder to lift your knee? Is this side more challenging than the other? This is my challenging side. Last one. And now we're going to let the hip move in another direction. Now the knee is going to slide forward and back. Let's play with that for a second. So I slide my knee forward. My hip moves forward. My hip moves back. We're going to add the twist here. So I reach my bottom arm out. Bring the top hand. And we're bringing shoulders and hips together. If you needed a blanket in between your knees, you could do that. If this doesn't feel comfortable or your knees don't touch, put a blanket in between the knees and take it all the way down to your ankles. All right, take the top hand, reach way out. And then we're just going to come back a little bit. Bring your hand back to meet your elbow. Just see what you find there. Like I feel that down in my right hip. Slide the hand out, move the hand out, and feel, look down at your knee. Notice how your top knee moves forward of your bottom knee. And now as I slide my hand back towards my underarm, my knee slides back. Take a peek at it. Let's just keep going, nice and slow. My hand might come to my ribs under my chest. As I let myself, my chest open more and more towards the sky, my elbow will move back closer to the ground. Last one. We can stay in it for the last one. As we reach forward, the chest muscles, the pectoral muscles are contracting. And as we open back into the twist, those chest muscles are opening up, lengthening out. When you pause in the twist, noticing the breath, maybe put your hand right on your ribs. One more breath or two. And then when you're ready, roll back over onto your side. And then we're going to roll over to the belly. If you lay on your belly and the tops of your feet, your ankles don't feel good, take a rolled blanket or towel and roll it up and put it in that space at the top of the ankle joint. Support the leg. Okay. So let's bring the forehead down to the forearms for a moment. If I fold my arms so that one hand is on top of the other, put your forehead on top. And then I want you to see if you can just gently roll your head from side to side. And as I roll my head from side to side, my legs are apart. We're not turning the head. I'm not lifting and turning my head. I'm massaging from one eyebrow to the other, or above the eyebrow. Notice as you roll the head, as you look into one elbow, let that shoulder come up towards your ear or your chin. See if you notice the shoulders doing this little up and down shimmy. And then we'll pause in the center and bring your forearms parallel to each other. Let's come up onto the elbows and forearms. Remember, if you have a stenosis, keep it low, super duper low. And the goal is not to go up, but to pull yourself long. So feeling like your elbows are digging down into the ground and dragging your heart away from your hips. Legs are apart. Let's breathe into the side ribs. Pull the heart away from the hips. Now bring your shoulders down your back. Squeeze them back a little bit. Let's go up a little higher. Know where you need to stop. Don't go too high. And then lower down. Let's do that a few times. We're not trying to go as high as humanly possible. We're just trying to move some tissues, create a little back bend, open up the front of the rib cage, change that diaphragm tension in the front of the body. Breathe into your side ribs. Now come up to the place that's most comfortable for you. You're like, yeah, right here. This feels nice. Shoulders down, bring them back, and now breathe into the side ribs. Oh, I love that feeling of freedom. One more time. Last one. And then settle all the way down. Let's slide one arm out, roll to the side, and then over to your back. We are ready for some windshield wipers. Let's take the feet wide, arms wide. And take both knees down to the right. Let's spin the arms to the right. And then when the legs go to the left, take your hands and just roll them along the floor. Think about the arms spinning from the hands through the arms into the shoulder socket. So my arms are kind of low, but away from the body. As my knees go to the right, the arms spin to the right. My head can go to the right. And then if you're feeling capable, pause with the legs and the arms and turn the head the opposite direction of the knees. We're just getting those thigh bones moving in the hip socket. Getting the neck to move, the shoulders. One more time or two. And then pausing in the center. Take a full breath. All right, let's try. You may need a little something under your head. We're going to go into the Piriformis. We're going to take, let's all do the same side. I hope this is your looser side. You can do your looser side, but I want to say left and right. I'm going to bring my left ankle to my right thigh. And I'm going to not use my hands are down on the ground. Palms are down. And I'm going to draw my knee in towards the chest. Ankle stays on the thigh. And then I'm going to move my leg out. So I'm using the muscles of my leg to move the leg out and in. The ankle on the thigh is bent. One more time. And now this time, as I move my leg out, I'm going to hold it out there. I'm going to place my hand on the front of that thigh. And I'm going to push my hand into my leg and then push my leg into my hand. And I want you to untuck the pelvis. So you feel your pubic bone moves down. There's a small arch in the back. My leg is pressing into my hand and my hand is pressing back. And then I want you to relax out of that for a moment, soften, and we'll do it again. We'll start with the pelvis. Just a little bit. Move the pubic bone down. So you go like, yep, I'm untucked. Press your hand into your leg, and now your leg presses back. Feel that resistance, that tension. And then release. All right, now I'm going to change it up a little bit. One of these is going to work, is going to be like, yes, that's the one I need. Now I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to go around the other side of my knee. See that? Now I'm not pushing the front of my knee. I'm going to go around to the back of side of my knee. And now I'm going to push my knee into my hand and my hand into my knee. Push your knee into your hand. Untuck the pelvis. And then soften out of that. We'll do that one more time. So I have my hand on the other side of my knee, and I'm pushing my knee into my hand, and my hand is pulling on my knee at the same time. Untuck the pelvis. That's the one I need. And then release. Draw the belly in, go into a tucked position. Keep the belly in. Now lift the right foot off the ground. Reach up and grab hold. And without pulling it in all the way as far as humanly possible, rock a little side to side. This is the Piriformis work. A little side to side, and then maybe a little in and out so I can pull it in and away. So if it's hard to grab hold of your leg, you can bring something under your head, helps a lot. I don't want your chin poking up to the sky. We're going to hold it into the chest for a moment. Take a full breath. Relax down at the bottom of your pelvis. And then get out of there. Ka-plunk. All right. Side two. Right ankle to the right thigh. Bend the ankle. I'm going to start off with my palms on the floor, arms down. I'm going to bring the knee towards my opposite shoulder, and then I'm going to open my knee out to the side. We're going to do that 3 times. Close your eyes, feel. When you open your knee away from the body, your butt muscles contract. As you draw the knee towards the body, the inner thigh muscles contract. Last one. This is my tight side. I always do a little extra on the tight side. Now, open the knee with the muscles of your leg, bend the ankle, place your hand on the front of your thigh. Now, my hand pushes my leg, but my leg pushes back into my hand, and I want you to untuck the pelvis. Take a breath. And then I'm going to ease out of the pressure. I take a little break. And we do it again. Open the knee. Push your hand into your thigh. Push your thigh into your hand. Untuck the pelvis. Just take a breath or two. This helps to decompress that hip joint. Release. Now we're just changing the hand position a little bit. Now I want you to take your hand, instead of being on the front of the thigh, just take your fingers around to the back of the knee there. My knee is open, and now I'm going to press my knee into my hand, and my hand is pulling my knee at the same time, so they don't really move anywhere. Untuck the pelvis, and soften out of it. We're going to do it one more time. Let's move the pelvis first. Pubic bone down. Press your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. Untuck the pelvis. Bend your ankle. Take a breath. It's almost over. And release. Draw the belly in. Go into a tuck. Reach up and grab hold of the leg that was just on the ground. Let the foot be floppy. Rock a little left to right. I know it's tight stuff. And a little in and out. And you can keep the movement going or just pause, soften the shoulders, relax your jaw. If you're comfortable, maybe even roll your head a little side to side. Believe it or not, releasing tension in this area will help release tension in your neck. And then let's get out of there. Oh my goodness. All right, you either love me or hate me now. It's over, so roll to your side, help yourself up. Let's grab our blocks. We're going to do a lunge. We're going to do a little cat and cow. We're going to sit. So that's Janu Shirshasana. There's lots of things to do there. It's kind of like an advanced Janu Shirshasana. ankle to thigh, thread the needle, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's go. Blocks tall. Bloop, bring one foot forward. Bend the knee. Oh, yes. Now let's move this back and forth. This is for the psoas. But when we move back, we'll feel some change also happening in the back of the leg through those hamstrings and fascia. See if as you move back and forth, you can keep your head hanging down. And while your head is down there, open your eyes and make sure you like your alignment. Remember that the foot and the back knee need their own lane. All right, I hope you're feeling looser and looser. Let's come forward and stay in the lunge. I'm going to lower my blocks. You can if you like. Sinking the hips down. You can let your head hang down. And we're just going to shift the weight of the body from left to right. So if you need a little extra padding under your knee, take care of yourself. Inhale to one direction, exhale to the other. I'm so glad you're joining me. Isn't it so hard to take care of yourself, to create space and time in your life for some real serious self-care and prevention? It's amazing. All right, pause in the center, sink the hips. When you're ready, back up your butt. Now flip the blocks up tall. Slide the heel forward. Now, if it's hard for you to straighten your knee, come up onto your fingertips on your blocks. Maybe you need another set of blocks. Maybe you need double blocks. That's fine. All right, now we have this untucking of the pelvis. So we move the pubic bone down. I have a little arch in my back. My face is up. I'm not trying to put my face on my foot. Bend the ankle deeply, toes to the sky. Take a breath or two. Hello, fascia. Let's soften out of it, and then we'll do it again. Pelvis first, pubic bone down. Arching through the back, bend the ankle, toes to the sky. And come out of there. Side two. Oh my. I don't know why. It's always surprising to me how tight I am. Moving back and forth. I've been building fences, digging holes. Actually, I cannot take any credit for that. My poor husband has been doing that. But I was mixing concrete and lifting concrete and, oh boy, back and forth. Peek at your alignment. And please keep the big toe on the ground when you move back, because we really need to stretch out the top of that foot. And then we're going to stay in the lunge when you're ready. I'm going to make my blocks a little shorter. And make sure that your knee is over your heel, your shin bone is vertical, and we're going to shift a little left and right. Inhale in one direction, exhale in the other. Psoas, very important for the lumbar, and very important for sciatica to be lunging. Very important for bulging herniated discs, stenosis, everything, everything, everything. Pause in the center, drop the head. When you're ready, back her up. Blocks tall. You got to scooch the heel forward a couple inches. So notice my bottom leg here, my supporting leg is vertical. It doesn't have to work. Bend the ankle, untuck the pelvis, lift your sternum, lift your face, bend your ankle, toes to the sky. I want this long, stretchy feeling from the bottom of the foot to the butt. Soften the foot, relax out of it a little bit. We'll pause, do it one more time. Pubic bone down, legs straight, toes up, face up, take a breath. And you think, oh my gosh, I love this, feels so good. And then come out of there, pull that foot back. Oh my goodness. All right, shake your hands out a little bit so we can play here. I want to go right into, I want to do one cat and cow, and then we're going to go right into bird dog. So this is a little bit of our stability work today. We want to, earlier we were pushing the foot into the ground and we were feeling the glute engage. We're going to feel the glute engage when we do this. All right, ready? I want to begin by just doing the arms today. So if you already have your leg up in the air, you've gone way too fast. Look down at the floor and I want you to push the floor away. And we're in a neutral position of the spine. Let's go a little cat, draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, saggy cow. Let's do one or two more. Draw the belly button in. Saggy cow. So we're tucking and untucking. Last one. And now pause in a neutral position. So I'm going to look at the floor. I'm going to push the floor away. And now I'm going to bring my knees a little closer. I'm just going to lift one arm. Push the other arm into the floor. Lift one arm forward. And this is going to engage the upper abdominal muscles are going to turn on. And lower it down. You'll feel your belly relax. Ready? Shift the weight. Push into the hand that's on the floor. Lift the opposite arm. These upper abdominal muscles up under your ribs in the front are going to turn on tense. And you can touch them. If you take your hand that's in the air and poke at them, they're tense. And down. Now add the leg. Ready? Tuck your toes. Take your left foot back. Keep the foot on the floor. Push into your arms. Engage your core. Find your sound. Shh. Nice and slow. Lift your foot. Feel your butt. Push into your arms. Lift the opposite arm. Now this is actually easier than lifting one arm at a time. Press through the heel. Get long through that leg. Reach through the opposite arm. Push the hand that's on the floor into the ground. Nice and slow. Come down. So if lifting the leg creates an issue for you, if you have spinal stenosis, just do the arms. Rest in child's pose. We'll be there in a moment. Ready? Send the foot back. Push into the arms. Engage your core. Shh. Lift your foot. Feel your butt. Press through the heel. Push down into the arms. Lifting the opposite arm. Holding steady. Feel your butt. Reach through the heel. Reach through the hand. Abs on. Find your core. Make your sound. Shh. And lower down nice and slow. Good. Let's round the back into cat pose. Nice and slow. Stay in cat pose and move your body back in space. And move forward. As many times as you like, ironing out the wrinkles. Keeping the belly in. We're moving back and forth in cat pose. And you can keep moving and then settle back into child's pose when you're ready. We'll rest. All right. Let's sit for a moment. I have a little neck release for you. You ever feel like if you take your hands around to the top of your neck, you feel like, oh, I got these like knots in there, these bumps. We're going to play with that today. We should get those to release, right? We don't like them there. I want you to sit high enough that you feel that your knees are lower than your hips. If I put a little marble on the front of your thigh, it would roll down. So take the time to get some pillows. Pillows are a little flimsy. I like something real firm so you feel supported. All right, let's go a little sideways and then we'll get into the neck. We're going to bring one hand down to the ground. You can be my mirror. Take the arm forward and up to the sky. Take a breath and reach up a little higher. Scooch the arm over near your head. Leaning in, lay your head on your shoulder. Oh, yes. Now, let's breathe into that lung. Adjust the hand that's on the floor. I'm not trying to go down to the ground. I'm really going out. I can bend my bottom elbow a little bit. Think about the whole body, the underside going out, straighten the elbow. A couple times, bend and straighten the bottom elbow. If you have a bulging and herniated disc, you're going to have to make this smaller on one side where you have the bulge. So don't compress the disc. Rotate the chest a little to the sky. Take a breath. And then come all the way up and open. So no matter what issues you have, you can do all of the poses, but you have to know your limitations and accept them. So if my disc bulges, it gets pushed back, and then it kind of goes out to the side. So if my disc is bulging out to the side, I don't want to compress it, but I still want to get long. So I can be here. Don't be here, smushing. All right, ready? Forward and up. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Scooch the arm over. This might be, if you had a bulging disc on this underside, this might be as far as you go. Can you lean in, lay your head on your shoulder? And then if it's okay to do so, bend the elbow, straighten the elbow, bend the elbow, straighten the elbow. And then the last one, we stay in the bend and just rotate the chest a little to the sky, reaching through that top arm. Take a breath. And then get out of there, up we come. All right, let's go a little deeper into the neck. So if you need to wiggle your feet out, and you can sit however you need to sit, but you can't sit like this. Don't sit like this. So if you're gonna open one knee out, I need you to keep moving that pubic bone forward. Because see, watch how my neck changes. This is why we have neck and shoulder issues, because it starts in the pelvis. If I tuck my pelvis, my spine is going to follow. I'm going to compress the neck. And then I'm going to work with my arms, and I'm going to overuse this levator scapula, and I'm going to get this big knot up here. So when I move my pubic bone down, it lines up my spine so I can back up my head. All right. Now this next thing has a few pieces to it. So follow along, be slow. We'll do each one 3 times each side. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my head to the right, just halfway, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna tip my right ear just a little bit down to the right shoulder. And then I'm gonna lift my right shoulder up and I'm gonna bend my elbow. Tip your head back. Now move your elbow back. It's going to lift your shoulder up. Hold it. And then super slow, lower it down and let it relax completely. So the muscles that we're getting are back here, if the knot, if you take your hand and you kind of, the back side of your neck at the top of the shoulder, we're going to contract those muscles to let it relax. 2 more times, ready? So I'm going to turn my head a little bit to the right. I'm going to tip my head a little bit down towards my shoulder. I'm going to lift my shoulder, bend my elbow. Now tip the chin back a little bit and then move your elbow back in space. It'll make the shoulder blade glide up. Now we're contracting that muscle. Relax the other side. And then nice and slow, come all the way down. Let it relax. Let's do it one more time. We're getting good at it. Turn the head slightly to the right. Take the right ear slightly towards the shoulder. It's not big. I'm going to lift the shoulder up, bend the elbow, tip the head back, and then just move the elbow back in space. I cannot tell you how not hard this is. It's not hard. Be gentle. And then very slowly, let the arm come down. Let it relax completely. Rest your arms down by your sides. Close your eyes. Take a breath and see if your right shoulder, if you did your right side, if the right shoulder is feeling lower than the left. And then just sitting tall, just turn the head a little left and right and see what you feel. So I feel a lot freer on the right side than the left. All right, let's do the other side. So I'm going to turn my head just a little bit to the left, like maybe halfway. Now I'm going to tip my ear a little to the shoulder, it doesn't go far. I'm going to lift that left shoulder up, bend your elbow. Tip your head back a little, and then move your elbow back, and it's going to take your shoulder blade back and up. We hold that contraction, and the important part is to come out slowly and relax completely. 2 more times. Turn the head to the left, tip the ear down, raise the left shoulder, bend the elbow, tip the head back, move your elbow back, hold the contraction, right shoulder drops down, the other shoulder drops down, come out nice and slow. Last time. I love the stretch that I feel on the other side. Ready? Turn the head to the left a little bit, ear down a little bit, draw the shoulder up, bend the elbow, tip your face back. Now move your elbow back, doop-de-doop-de-doo. And we're just holding that contraction, should be no pain. Drop the other shoulder. Notice how stretchy that is. And then nice and slow, we come all the way out. Take a breath. And then turn the head left and right. See if you have a little more mobility. My right side is my tight side. And we have to, this is a good one. We'll keep playing with this one because as it gets colder, I think it's going to get cold. I don't know where you are, but it's not very cold here. And we tend to lift the shoulders up, and this becomes a pattern. So we have these patterns. We tend to either be here. Is that your pattern? That's mine. Or here. And we can also have a trauma pattern where we feel longer on one side than the other. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Now let's bring the bottoms of the feet together. If you need support under your shins, can you take your hands back to the floor, the blanket or blocks behind you? And tuck and untuck the pelvis in this position. My pubic bone tips to my face, and then it tips down. And it tips to my face. If you have bulging herniated discs, watch the tipping, watch the tuck. So if this works best for you, you can be here. This works really well for me and my hip, my inner thigh loosens up really nicely. The next place I could go is move the pubic bone down, grab hold of the shin bones. If I have bulging herniated disc, I can just stay right here. This is the pose. Breathe down to the bottom of the pelvis. If it's available to you and your body and your issues, bring your hands to the floor, drop the head. Even if you're sitting upright, if you have bulging herniated disc and you want to stay upright, you can drop your chin down. So folding forward is an option. I could, if I'm forward, walk the hands a little to the right. Walk the hands a little to the other side, to the left. When you come back into the center, come up a little bit and let's move the feet out a footprint. So now I move one foot, then the other. Even if I'm going to stay straight, just see if it's a little easier to sit upright. And if you fold forward, noticing what changes we've created. Like my right hip feels different when I move my foot out. Not necessarily better or worse, but different. And coming all the way up. Helping your knees up and slide your legs out straight. Give them a little wiggle here, little windshield wipers. Just get those balls moving in the socket. Okay, so I want to come back down to the floor. If you love forward bending, I know there's a couple people that have bulging herniated discs in class today. If you love forward bending, you're in the position, you can go ahead and fold all the way down. And if you're not going to do that pose, we're going to head down to the floor and we're going to go back to working on a little hip stabilization. So when you are ready, we're coming back to the floor, bringing a blanket in under your head. So we've been working on mobility. We did bird dog, find some abdominal muscles, re-engage those glutes, keeping us stable. And I want to play around with some more stabilization techniques. So let's start with our knees bent, kind of like a 90-degree angle. Pull them up. And then we're going to take the top leg and we're going to slide it out straight. So I'm going to move this hip down so my waist comes off the floor, and I'm going to untuck my pelvis, untuck. I'm going to turn on my core. Shh, my bottom of my waist is off the floor. My bottom leg is relaxed. I'm going to hold on to the floor here. And I'm going to be a little bit forward on the bottom hip. So I'm not leaning back, but forward. I'm going to reach out through my leg. I want you to feel like your hip bone moves away. We've been working on that. I'm going to lift this foot up. So this makes these muscles in the side hip turn on and work. Hee hee, hello. And then we're going to lower all the way down. All right, we're organized. So I have my core turned on, I have my hip moves away, my waist lifts up, I'm untucked, turn on those abdominal muscles, turn your core on, shh, lift your foot, and come all the way down. Let's do that 2 more times. Lift the foot up. I want you to feel it all in the side of the hip. And now we're going to keep the foot up on this next one. I'm just tapping the floor and coming down. I'm going to hold it up. Now I'm just going to go down an inch and up an inch. Down an inch, up an inch. Down an inch, up an inch. Down an inch. That's a lot of those. Now go all the way down. We're just going to do 4 more. This is 1, all the way down and all the way up. 2, 3, 4. Hold it up. You should feel it working, working, working. Stable, stable, stable. Lower all the way down. Bend your knee, put it on top of the other leg, and relax. Oh dear. All right, now we're gonna do the under leg, the bottom leg. So I'm gonna take my top leg to the floor and slide my bottom leg out. But your bottom leg, if this top leg doesn't wanna touch the floor, go ahead, go ahead and bring another, like a blanket in under your shin bone. This is really nice. So I'm gonna bring the blanket in under my shin to demonstrate. I'm gonna put my arm under my head. Now I want you to feel like you're not on front of the hip, the bottom hip, but I want you to kind of move back. So I take my bottom hip and kind of scooch it a little forward. So I'm back towards my butt. So you can lean back a little bit and then come forward. Now my bottom leg, I can kick it a little forward towards the other leg. That will help you so you feel like you're more on your butt than your side hip bone. All right, here we go. We're going to get organized. I'm going to take my top hip down. My bottom waist feels like it lifts up. I'm going to lean back a little bit, use your hand to help, and I'm going to lift my foot. If you need to kick it forward a little bit, you may. We're going to go all the way up and hold it. Then we're going to go all the way down for 4. Ready? We're going to do 4 of those. That's 2, 3. Oh, I like the blanket underneath the knee. But the top leg, I want the top leg to be relaxed, so it's not helping. Engage that core. Shh. Stay up. Let's do 4, just down an inch and up an inch. Down an inch, up an inch. Down an inch, up an inch. Last one. And then we're going to go all the way down and all the way up. All the way down. We got 2 more of those. Good. Last one. You can hold it up there, kick a leg forward if you need to, turn your core on, and lower all the way down. Slide both legs out straight for a moment. All right, other side. So we don't need, we always think when something hurts, well, I know I did. Whenever something hurt, I would just stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. But sometimes areas are overstretched and we don't have strength in some muscles. So what we're feeling is a lack of strength. My knees are bent, my head is supported, my top leg is going to go out straight, and I'm going to move my hip down. When I move my hip down, feel that. We practiced this last week and the week before in class, moving this hip around. So as I move my hip down, it lifts my waist. Now what's going to hold my waist like that? My core. Turn it on. You can make shh. I'm going to lean a little forward. I'm going to lift my leg. I'm going to pause there for just a moment. Let the muscles turn on, figure out what in the world they're supposed to be doing. I'm going to go all the way down and all the way up. 2, 3, 4. Now we stay up and we just go down an inch. We go down an inch and then go back up. And we do 4 of those. And I really want you to feel it right in here. We're doing the, gluteus, medius. Go all the way down and all the way up. Can you do it without pausing and resting? If you need to take a rest, you can take a rest. Oh, and so good for these little muscles under the butt. Your quadratus femoris. Rest. Draw that knee up. Slide the bottom leg out straight. Now this one's a little more tricky getting comfortable, so it's a little easier if you bring something under your knee. I'm going to bring my arm under my head. Support my leg, so I got to go back towards my butt on the bottom leg, back off the hip bone. And then I'm going to lift that bottom leg, and you'll feel like, oh, I'm 2 on my hip bone. So think about kicking your foot a little forward towards me, and then let's go down and up for 4. Let's go 1. So lean back, you're more on the back side of that hip bone, your greater trochanter. I'm reaching the foot out as I go up. The top leg is relaxed. It wants to help, but don't let it help. We're going to stay up and just go down an inch and up an inch. Down an inch and up an inch. Turn those abs on. Yeah. And then we're going to go all the way down and all the way up. You're going to be so strong. Getting stronger and stronger every day. Hold it up if you like. And come down when you're ready. Give it a break. All right, so just a little variation, something different besides our regular old clam shells. Got something else to play with there. All right, what do we need to do? We need to roll to the back. Feet on the floor, knees bent. Block between the knees if you like. Arms down. Now we can tie it all together with arms and butt muscles if you like. Now we're holding the block. We're turning on those muscles that we just engaged. I hope this helps you. Send your knees forward as you lift both cheeks up off the floor and then come on down. Remember, we're not going into a tuck. We're going right from neutral, lifting the hips. And down. Now, if you feel really good, you can take your arms up as your butt goes up. Arms down as your butt goes down. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. Feel both cheeks strong and powerful. And the last one, we can just stay up there for a moment. The arms are down, the butt is up. Let's just pause and feel. Feel your footprints, feel your knees reaching forward, hold your block, engage your glutes, poke them if you like. Feel them strong, opened up in the front of the hips, strong lower back. Oh my gosh, that's so great. And then come on down nice and slow, rolling through the spine and rest. Cross your left thigh over your right thigh. No space now. And nice and slow. Just gonna rock my foot is still on the floor. And I'm just gonna rock the knees a little left and right. And you can let your head turn. So when my knees go to the right, my head turns to the left. And my abdominal muscles are still active. My core is turned on, stabilizing my spine as my head and knees go drifty. Last one. Pausing in the center, draw the belly button in, feel the back flatten, bring the knees to the chest. Little rock, get it out. So we move the joints, we stretch the muscles, get the tissues hydrated, and we strengthen the muscles. So we have this great balance between mobility and stability. We were just contracting in the bridge pose and those other exercises we were just doing. Now we just gotta stretch it back out. And when you're ready, push your feet on the floor. We'll change sides. I'm going right leg over the left. I'm going to rock a little side to side. This can be very small. Let your head start to turn, if you like, the opposite direction of your knees. Notice how those abdominal muscles have to hold you steady in the middle. And then that's why we practice, right? So that we have these experiences now here on the floor, so that when you get up and you do your chores, those muscles remember how to work. Stay in the center, draw the belly in, flatten the back, bring your knees to your chest. And you can rock them in and out. And pause and hold and breathe. Relax the shoulders, your jaw. And then to finish, bring your both knees to the chest at the same time. Hold behind the thighs. And we want to finish always with the both legs going in the same direction, doing the same thing. So I love knees to chest to finish. You could take it into happy baby, feet up, knees bent. Really pulling the thighs down towards the floor. Knees out towards your underarms. Add a little rock from side to side, or maybe grab your feet if that works for you. I remember when I sprained my toe a few years ago, I guess it's been about 4 years now, I couldn't do this. I had so much tension going from my toe up through my right leg into my right hip that I could not do this position. It was just too intense. It did not feel good. Now it feels great. Savasana. All right, you're going to hang in here with me for Savasana. If you need to skedaddle, just pause on your side, thank your body. Shavasana is, so I talk about, we need to stretch the muscle, move the joints, strengthen the muscles so we have stability and mobility in the body so that you can do your life, without feeling so horrible. Shavasana trains us to be able to let go so that when we are experiencing things in life that are, really challenging our sanity, we want to be able to let go. There are some things we cannot change, like other people. And we have to witness how we're feeling and take a deep breath and be able to let go as to not create more, chaos. So that's what Shavasana is about. Shavasana isn't always quiet and peaceful in the brain, but you're just noticing the stuff and you're just letting it go, letting it go, letting it go. And we practice. So if you're hanging in with me, good for you. I'm so proud of you. Some people don't like to let go. Those people don't really like Shavasana. They're like, I just need to go, 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 go. I'm one of those people. I understand. So let's breathe. We're going to inhale. And as you exhale, let it out nice and slow. Begin to count your breath. So as you inhale, count. Pausing for half that number. And as you exhale, let it out slower than the inhale. So I always like the numbers 4, 2, and 6. That's the ratio. So if you need to extend it, if you've been doing this a lot, maybe you breathe to 6, hold for 3. And you may notice also that there is a pause, not only at the end of the inhale, but you may notice a very natural pause at the end of your exhale. Try inhaling for 4, pausing for 2, exhale for 6. Let there be a natural pause. You can always take a normal breath. finding your rhythm. Let's do one more round. Feel the lungs fill. And as you empty, softening from the chest down into your belly. And as you like, the breath returns to its natural rhythm. Noticing the natural rhythm. And just tune in and notice both feet at the same time. Noticing the length of both legs, resting completely. From your ankles to your hips, resting. And then notice your hands, arms, shoulders, resting heavy. Be aware of your torso, noticing all along the back of the torso, the length and the width of your back, including your buttocks and your shoulders. Notice the front of the torso, from the pubic bone to your collarbones. See if you can feel that softening in the front of the torso. As you exhale, the front of the torso softens towards your back. Noticing your neck, softening inside your throat, resting through your jaw, back into your ears, softening your face, lips, eyes. Being aware of the whole body. The body is letting go, surrendering to gravity. Let your mind focus on the space at the very center of your brain. Witness the body letting go. Let the mind be focused at the center of the brain. I'll bring you back with the sound of the bells. letting go. And sometimes letting it be feels more appropriate or easier, you know. So see how that feels. Just let it be. When you feel ready to roll to your side, remember, curl up cozy, bring your knees up, pause. When you notice your feathers getting ruffled today, remember, just, can I let it be? Can I let it go? And that's when you're living your yoga. When you're taking what we've practiced on the floor today and you're taking it out there into your relationships, into the world. Namaste.